There's a reason some people never get ahead no matter how hard they try. And it's not what you think. It's not laziness. It's not bad decisions. It's not even how much they make. I spent a long time believing broke people just needed to try harder, budget better, stop buying coffee. You know, all that stuff people love to say online. But then I started actually looking into it. And what I found made me genuinely angry. There are these 7 things that quietly drain people. Month after month, year after year. And the worst part? Most people have no idea they're even happening. They just feel like they're running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up no matter how fast their legs move. And here's what really got me. The system is actually designed this way. Banks, dealerships, apps, corporations, they're counting on you not seeing this stuff. Your confusion is literally a line item in their revenue projections. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And suddenly the whole game changes. So I'm gonna walk you through all 7 today. And I really need you to stick with me until number 7, because that's the one nobody ever talks about. It's not about money at all. And it's the reason some people with 6 figures still feel broke while others with half that income sleep like babies. Let's get into it. Number 1, you're renting your entire existence. This one completely changed how I see money. Most people don't realize it, but they're renting almost everything in their lives. And I don't just mean apartments. Think about it. You're renting your shelter through monthly payments to a landlord. You're renting your car through a loan in which you pay interest every month. You're renting your purchases through credit card balances that charge you 22% to borrow money you already earned. You're basically paying a subscription fee to exist. And here's what's so brutal about this. Every single one of those payments is money flowing out of your pocket and into someone else's wealth. Your landlord is building equity. The bank is collecting interest. The credit card company is compounding its profits. You're working, but your money is working for other people. I read somewhere that the average American pays over $600,000 in interest over their lifetime. $600,000. That's a house. That's retirement. That's freedom. Just gone. Transferred to banks and lenders. And the wild part? Most of that interest is in stuff that's losing value. Cars, furniture, clothes, things that are worth less every single day while you're still paying for them. So here's what I want you to think about this week. Look at your monthly payments and ask yourself, am I building anything? Or am I just renting my life from people who are building theirs? Number 2, decision fatigue. This one is invisible and it's destroying people. So there's this thing called decision fatigue. Every single choice you make throughout the day uses up a little bit of mental energy. What to wear? What to eat? Which email to answer first? Should I buy this? Can I afford that? By the end of the day, your brain is exhausted. Not physically, mentally. And when your brain is exhausted, it makes terrible choices. That's when the impulse purchase happens. That's when you say yes to the thing you know you shouldn't buy. That's when willpower just evaporates. And here's what's so unfair about this. When you're stressed about money, your brain is making hundreds of extra decisions every single day that wealthy people never have to make. Can I afford groceries and gas this week? Which bill can I push to next month? Should I fix the car or hope it holds together? Is this purchase worth it or will I regret it? All of that calculating, all of that mental math. It drains you before you even get to the actual decisions that could move your life forward. A study found that financial stress reduces your effective IQ by about 13 points. You're literally getting dumber from money anxiety. Not because you're not smart, because your brain is maxed out just trying to survive the week. So here's something that actually helps. Reduce the number of decisions you have to make. Automate everything you can. Same breakfast every day. Clothes were laid out the night before. Bills on autopay. Every decision you remove gives your brain a little more space to think clearly about the stuff that actually matters. Number 3, no finish line. This one keeps people running forever without ever arriving anywhere. Most people have no actual financial goal. Like, none. They just vaguely want more money, or to be comfortable, or to not stress about bills. But that's not a goal. That's a feeling, and feelings are impossible to measure. So what happens? You chase and chase and chase. You get a raise and it doesn't feel like enough. You hit a savings number and move the target higher. You're always almost there, but never actually arrive. I talked to someone once who was making over $150,000 a year and still felt broke. Not because she didn't have money, because she never defined what enough actually meant to her. So no amount was ever enough. Compare that to someone who sat down and calculated their actual freedom number, the exact amount at which work becomes optional. Suddenly, every dollar has a purpose. Every decision filters through a clear target. Without a finish line, you're just running. And running is exhausting when you don't know where you're going. So here's what I want you to do. Calculate your actual number. Take what you need to live per month, multiply by 12, then multiply by 25. That's roughly how much you'd need invested to never work again. Is it a big number? Probably. But at least now you know exactly what you're building toward. And that clarity changes everything. Number 4, the ownership gap. This one explains why some people keep getting richer while others keep working harder and staying stuck. There are really only 2 ways to make money. You can trade your time for it, or you can own something that makes it for you. Most people only know the first way. They work, they get paid, they spend, they work again. The whole cycle depends on them showing up every single day and exchanging hours for dollars. But here's the thing, your time has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. And if every dollar you earn requires your presence, you're building a treadmill, not a ladder. Ownership is different. When you own assets, stocks, property, a business, even intellectual property, those things can make money while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're sick. And here's what nobody tells you. The system is designed to reward ownership way more than it rewards work. In the last few years, the stock market has gone up like crazy. Housing prices exploded. If your wealth was tied to those assets, you got richer automatically. You didn't do anything extra. But if your wealth was tied to your paycheck, wages barely kept up with inflation. You worked just as hard and still fell behind. That's the gap, and it gets wider every single year. So here's the shift. Start thinking about how to turn labor into ownership, even small amounts, even slowly. Because every dollar you convert from income into assets is a dollar that starts working for you instead of the other way around. Number 5, the mental disease. This one isn't about money at all. It's about your head, and it might be the most important one. There are these what I call attitude diseases that keep people broke no matter how much they earn. And most people have at least 2 or 3 of them without even knowing it. The first one is worry, and I mean chronic worry. The kind where you're running worst-case scenarios in your head at 2 a.m. What if I lose my job? What if the car breaks down? What if? Worry doesn't solve problems. It just drains the energy you'd need to actually fix them. The second one is doubt, specifically self-doubt. Doubting whether you can actually build wealth, doubting whether you deserve good things, doubting whether any of this will work for someone like you. That doubt becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you never fully commit to anything. Third is indecision. You know what you should do, but you can't pull the trigger. You research forever. You wait for the perfect moment. You stay on the fence so long that the fence becomes your permanent address. Fourth is overcaution. Everything feels too risky. Investing feels risky. Changing jobs feels risky. Starting something feels risky. So you do nothing. And doing nothing has its own cost. You just don't get the bill until later. And fifth, complaining. This one is sneaky, because complaining feels productive. It feels like you're processing. But really, you're just rehearsing your problems over and over without ever moving toward solutions. These aren't character flaws, they're habits. And like any habit, they can be broken. But first you have to see them. So check yourself honestly. Which one do you have? Because that disease is costing you more than any expense on your bank statement. Number 6, the penalty for being broke. This one sounds completely backwards, but I promise it's true. Being broke is actually expensive. When you don't have money, everything costs more. And I mean everything. You can't afford the good boots that last 10 years, so you buy the cheap ones that fall apart in 6 months. Over a decade, you spend triple what the wealthy person spends. Same feat, way more money. You can't afford the bulk pack at Costco, so you buy small quantities at the corner store for 3 times the per unit price. You can't afford to fix the small car problem, so it turns into a catastrophic car problem that costs 5 times as much. Plus the tow, plus the missed work. Banks charge you $35 when your account dips $5 below zero. That's 700% interest to borrow $5 for one day. If a person on the street did that, they'd be arrested. And it's not just money. Being broke costs you time too. If you have a washer-dryer at home, doing laundry takes 5 minutes. If you have to go to a laundromat, that's 2 hours of your life plus the quarters. 2 hours you can't spend working or resting or being with people you love. The system charges a premium for not having money. And that premium makes it even harder to get money. It's a trap designed to keep you exactly where you are. Number 7, zero margin. This is the one that makes all the others deadly. You can understand everything I just told you. You can know all 6 killers inside and out, and they'll still destroy you. Why? Because when you have no margin, you have no choice. Margin is the gap between what you make and what you need. It's a breathing room. It's the buffer that lets you walk away from bad deals. It's what turns a flat tire from a crisis into an inconvenience. Without a margin, you take the payday loan, you pay the overdraft fee, you buy the cheap boots. You ignore the check engine light. You're trapped in survival mode, and survival mode makes it impossible to think about anything beyond this week. Here's what I want you to really understand. The first $1,000 you save matters more than any other $1,000 in your life. Not because of the amount, because of what it does to your options. With $1,000 in the bank, you can buy in bulk. You can raise your insurance deductible to lower your monthly costs. You can fix the small problem before it becomes a disaster. You can say no to things that aren't right for you. That $1,000 breaks the cycle. It gives your brain permission to zoom out past this week and start thinking about next month, next year, your actual future. Open a savings account this week. Set up automatic transfers. Whatever you can manage, don't touch it. That account is your exit door from all 7 killers. Here's what I really want you to walk away with. You're not broke because you're bad with money. You're not broke because you don't work hard enough. You've been playing a game with hidden rules, where the system profits from your confusion, where banks and corporations and apps are all designed to keep you just stressed enough that you can't think clearly. But now you see it. And once you see it, you can stop playing their game and start playing your own. If this opened your eyes even a little bit, hit the like button and subscribe. I talk about this stuff all the time: money, wealth, all the things nobody ever explains properly. Thanks for watching.